ticket is now accessible.
Yeah.
One affirmation will suffice.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So now all of a sudden, they want to start attacking men over their reaction to this whole Captain Marvel deleted scene trailer for the upcoming release of the Blu-ray DVD coming out this June, by saying that fanboys are offended and all this other okay. Number one, if you assholes actually check what you're promoting crime. And you're promoting bullying. Because you see, in this world, when you pick on someone who is weaker than you, that's considered bullying. And that's exactly what happened in that scene with Captain Marvel. Yes, the guy came off as some kind of a douche. Even I didn't like the fact that all of a sudden he sees some chick just standing there reading the newspaper, minding her own fucking business, and here he comes with this, "Hey, darling, I think you're hot. I think we should just like get together and make some bebes." That's the impression I got too, and I agree. The guy came off as a douchebag. That doesn't give Captain Marvel the excuse to do what she did in that fucking scene. Now, it's not the fact that it's a woman, the one that did it. It's a fact that they're promoting bullying. When you're stronger than someone and you pick on them, they're weaker than you, you're a fucking bully. So that's something that these social justice warriors, leftist cucks, need to also figure out, since they're the ones always preaching about that bullshit. And quite frankly, I could give a rat's ass about bullying, because in my days I dealt with bullies my own way, not through school or teachers or the principal or organizations or the president Cuck Obama or any of that crap. I dealt with bullying with my fists, alright? That's how I dealt with my bullies. I dealt with my bullies with my fucking fists. Not all these fucking little babies that are like, "I'm being bullied at school, so I'm gonna commit suicide and hang myself. I was bullied at school, so I'm gonna kill myself." Okay? This is a situation that we went through just what, years ago? Not even longer than it should be to just all of a sudden be okay with bullying. Yeah, that's your first error. You promoted bullying. Okay? Marvel and Disney and every other leftist piece of shit out there, because that's what you are. And this is coming from someone who is not a fanboy, because in order to become a fanboy, you have to enjoy that thing or become a fan of that thing, in which this case, I am not a fan of Captain Marvel, nor anything after Endgame. Okay? Yeah, I'll give you that much. Captain Marvel was actually pretty, you know, like it didn't have the toxicity of the feminazi movement, like, you know, like everything else. As a matter of fact, it was mild compared to other things. Believe it or not, it was actually pretty mild for, you know, feminazi agendas or narratives. But now we're getting to the point where they don't want to hold themselves back from anything, down to the point where they're even proud of promoting bullying as long as it's a woman the one that does it. Guy shows up on his bike, sees Captain Marvel reading a newspaper, he starts hitting up on her. Big whoop-de fucking dude, okay? So now a man is toxic for acknowledging an attractive woman's existence. But if it would have been an ugly, overweight, terribly, you know, makeup, I don't know if that's an expression, the tall horse face, nasty hair color, looking like a dude, feminist, if a guy would have ignored that, then a man is toxic because they're not acknowledging them as a person. Ugh, God, I mean, seriously, like, cry me a river, alright? This is bullshit. Okay, number one, she turned out to be a bully. Okay? She could have done the superhero thing and just ignored him, or maybe even use her intellect, which I pretty much doubt Captain Marvel has, according to the way that they've portrayed her, to Brie Larson, who is not an intellect, because she isn't an intellect. She's someone who is very spiteful of whatever it is she went through. I mean, come on, we're talking about someone who wanted to be a model before she became an actress and didn't even pass off as a model. What does that already automatically say? She has a grudge. She's holding a grudge. And now that she's at this height in her quote-unquote career, she's now using it to mask her own little negative experiences and gain herself a little army of followers. Because she's so pathetic and she has a grudge against people that didn't think of her as good enough to be a model. Don't believe me, look it up. There's pictures of her on Google, of her modeling in underwear and some sort of bathing suit, some shit like that. She's not a model. She would never be a model. Number one, her ass is too flat. She has a dude's ass. Okay? Tom Holland has more of an ass than she does, and we've already seen the memes on that. You know, Spider-Man having more of a butt than Captain Marvel. But this is just a person who's holding a grudge against a bad experience that she might have had a long time ago because she couldn't cut it as a model. Boo fucking do. Boo hoo. Boo hoo. I couldn't cut it as a model. I'm gonna use this power to take it out on everybody else who didn't like me. Boo hoo. That's Brie Larson, okay? So now we're gonna have her picking on some guy who was being a toxic male, and like I said, I agree, he was a complete douchebag, and automatically assuming that just because he's this big dude and he has a fucking bike and he's gonna hit up on any chick that he comes across, and he's gonna think that he got his way and all this other bullshit. I understand. A woman would be in her right to blow the dumbass off, but not the way that Brie Larson's Captain Marvel did. On the contrary, she is a, number one, super fucking hero, okay? She's supposed to be one of the good guys, okay? And she ended up exploiting her powers for evil. This was nothing of self-defense, because even if it was, and the guy was attacking her, she's 100 times stronger than this guy could ever imagine being. So, right there, she's exploiting her strength to her own convenience, just like a fucking supervillain would. Supervillains don't care about you being less strong than they are. So, supervillains don't care about you being less powerful than they are. Supervillains don't give a shit about human life as long as it fits their narrative, their agenda, their purpose, which is what? Destroying everyone that's weaker than you. Okay? There's nothing to be proud of when it comes to having Captain Marvel picking on a human being that is not a mutate, because that's what Captain Marvel is. She's a fucking mutate, okay? She was hit with a barrage of that, you know, what you could call it, radioactive energy that came off of the ship that was, you know, produced by the Tesseract. And she was given the abilities to fly and energy projection and all this other crap and superhuman strength, and yet she used it for evil by using it on a simpleton, okay? Getting him by the hand and almost nearly breaking every bone in there. Okay, that's assault right there. That's fucking assault. So right there they're also saying that it's okay to commit assault to someone who's just being somewhat annoying or irritating, that you trick them into doing something and you can hurt them. You can literally commit assault. That's what she's doing. She is committing assault because she is breaking bones. That is assault. But it's only okay when a woman does it, right? But if it would have been a man, forget about it. You would never hear the end of it. Okay? They're also teaching women that it's okay to pick fights with men. Let me tell you something right now, straight off the bat. Guess what? Chivalry is dead. Okay? Chivalry died. And you feminists, or you feminazis, are responsible for that death. Okay? So don't come over and complain the day that one of you assholes pick a fight with a guy who is nothing chivalrous, who's absolutely had enough with the way that you fucking feminazis like to portray yourselves as, because you are nothing powerful, you are nothing strong, you are nothing impressive. The day that you actually bump into a man that has nothing to do with chivalry and doesn't believe it anymore, don't fucking complain about, he hit me, I'm a woman, how could he hit me? So don't even think about ever starting to chant your equality this and equality that and women should be equal to men if you can't even handle the fucking pressures of getting your ass beaten by a guy, because it's gonna happen. it's gonna fucking happen. Okay? Chivalry is dead, and you are to blame. Okay? There's that point right there. I'm gonna give you feminazis a little advice here. Don't pick fights with men the way that Captain Marvel did, by crushing a man's hand and committing assault over the guy just wanting to pay her a compliment and flirt with her. Okay? Because he wasn't forcing himself on her. He wasn't trying to rape her. Although a lot of you are gonna say, but the possibility was right there that he could have just fucking raped her and blah 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 blah, and if she wasn't fucking Captain Marvel, he would have gotten away with it. No, the guy showed up like a fucking douchebag. He was a sleazeball, and he didn't look like your common, you know, your common rapist. Okay, he looked like a fucking sleazeball. He wanted to try his luck, and he failed. And instead of Captain Marvel showing some intellect and intelligence, what a fucking superhero is supposed to be and have, she commits assault. Which is something that a fucking supervillain would do. Commit assault. Okay? Now, second part of my argument with this whole bullshit is how the fuck do you go around promoting theft and Grand Theft Auto? Because that's what she fucking did. This ain't fucking Terminator, where the Terminator comes from the fucking future, completely butt naked, mind you, and demands to have the jacket, the pants, and the boots with the motorcycle. Okay? That's excusable. The guy showed up naked. What did you expect? Him to walk naked all the way over until she found Sarah? Okay? What was he supposed to do? Scare her to death by showing her his nudity? Shit, imagine that these days. Oh my god. The toxic masculinity. He's showing up at a woman's house naked. That's rape. That's rape. This is no different than Terminator. I hope a lot of you assholes out there notice that this is a Terminator scene where he asks for the coat, the pants, and the motorcycle. This was straight out of a Terminator movie. Okay? Straight out of a Terminator movie. Terminator committed Grand Theft Auto. He stole a bike. But then again, I keep repeating myself, the guy showed up naked. Okay? And, you know, obviously he needed a mode of transportation because unlike Captain Marvel, he can't fly. Okay? Now I know that a lot of people are going to say, but she didn't know how to fly yet. Kind of, she did already. You know, like, this wasn't like one of those, she doesn't know how to use her fucking powers. This ain't no X-Men. Okay? She didn't have to go through the whole mutant experience of having heightened emotion to trigger her ability. She already knew how to fucking fly. So she steals a bike, assaults a man. Oh, and not just that, also commits another crime, which is just theft, through stealing clothes from a department store. Takes a sunflower dress, some jeans, and the coat that she took from the biker who she committed assault on. Drives off, and oh, wouldn't you know it, reckless driving. Okay, if we're gonna point out faults here, there's also reckless driving. How so? Well, let me tell you how so. She drives off, nearly hits a car, making it swerve to the right, and drives off as if nothing happened. She didn't even stop to make sure if the driver was okay. She didn't make sure if everybody was alright. No, she just kept on driving like a fucking supervillain that she really fucking is, Brie Larson. Okay? She fucking drove off. She didn't stop to make sure that everybody was okay, like a fucking superhero would, even though a fucking superhero would never have actually, you know, caused that to happen. Not stealing the bike, not stealing the clothes, and not committing assault. So if anything, to all of you feminazis out there, no, this has nothing to do with fanboy tears. It's got nothing to do with women are strong and men are just what's the word? Because I don't even know what the word is, because I don't feel threatened by this at all. As a matter of fact, I feel ashamed and embarrassed that Disney and Marvel would actually allow this kind of portrayal of what a superhero is. This is bullshit. This just confirms that Captain Marvel is nothing. She's no one. She's a nobody. She's a pathetic F-lister. She's in the F ranks of superheroes. And Brie Larson just confirmed that. Okay? Brie Larson confirmed the fact that she's more of a fucking supervillain than anything else. If anything, she should have just fucking joined Thanos' fucking team and it would have been more interesting. Okay? It would have been a lot more interesting if she would have joined Thanos. Having her ass handed to her by real super female heroes. Okay? Real female heroes. Gamora, Pepper Potts, you know, what's her face, the Wasp, you know, a whole bunch of Black Widow, you know, those are super fucking female heroes, because you never would have noticed them pulling that kind of shit with someone weaker than them. You never would have noticed them committing acts of villainy the way that Captain Marvel did in that deleted scene. So don't give me that bullshit that fanboys are just intimidated. Number one, no, I wouldn't be intimidated by some woman trying to pull that shit with me. I would not relent. I'm telling you that straight out. I would not relent. Okay? So, here's another one, and for my closing statement. Number one, stop ignoring the female fan base, okay? Stop ignoring the gay fan base. Stop ignoring the minority fan base, alright? Marvel, Disney, and every other fucking leftist, quote-unquote, journalist, because you got nothing of journalist integrity. You just like to spread rumors like fucking crows on a wire. You just like to talk shit, but you don't really notice the real fan base that's also composed of gays, women, lesbians, and minorities. So, no, sorry, you keep losing on this one. Your argument is stale, and your mentality and your whatever it is you have behind all of this crap is vapid and outdated, because that's what it is. Your feminazi movement is outdated. Your 15 minutes of fame was over an hour ago. Alright? This is just bullshit. This is you trying to stay alive on what's basically life support, because that's what it is. You're trying to stay on life support, because the feminist movement is nothing more than a dying fad. Now, as far as Brie Larson goes, that stupid bitch better start realizing that not even her own people appreciate her, that even her own side doesn't give a shit about her. So, tell me what you think underneath the comment bar. Please like and subscribe, share, let everybody know. This was the Mega Gamer spreading the truth without any fear. Mega out!